Can you be a commandment keeper while breaking the fourth? Imagine someone claiming to be faithful in marriage, yet cheats every seventh night. Would you call that loyalty? Now imagine a Christian claiming to keep God's commandments while breaking the only one that begins with the word remember. The fourth commandment. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. And yet pastors excuse it. Imams mock it. Priests ignore it. Skeptics dismiss it. But God never revoked it. So I ask you, can you truly be a commandment keeper while breaking the fourth? 10 commandments or just 9? Let's be clear. The 10 commandments were not man's invention. They were written by the finger of God. Exodus 31:18. Engraved in stone, spoken from Mount Sinai, thundered from heaven, and right in the middle sits the fourth. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. Exodus 29:10. He didn't say a Sabbath. He said the seventh day. You shall not murder. You shall not steal. You shall not commit adultery. These you keep. But the fourth, you break it weekly and call it grace. The sin of selective obedience. James 2:10 hits like a hammer. For whosoever shall keep the whole law and yet offend in one point, he is guilty of all. Read it again. Offend in one, guilty of all. So when you say, well, I love God and I don't lie or kill or steal, but you trample the fourth under Sunday shoes, you are guilty of all. This is not legalism. This is loyalty. You don't get to pick and choose which commandments matter. That's cafeteria Christianity, and heaven doesn't serve that kind of religion. Jesus didn't break it, neither should you. Some argue, but Jesus is our Sabbath now. Really? So, because Jesus is your rest, you can now violate the day he honored? Luke 4:16 says, and as his custom was, he went into the synagogue on the Sabbath day. Jesus was the Lord of the Sabbath, Mark 2:28, not the abolisher of it. Others say, the early church worshipped on Sunday. No. Acts 13:42-44, Acts 17:2, Acts 18:4. Paul preached to Jews and Gentiles on the Sabbath week after week. Not a single verse says the Sabbath was replaced. So if Christ kept it, the apostles kept it, and the Bible commands it, what's your excuse? Why the fourth commandment matters most. Here's the irony. The Sabbath commandment is the only one that tells you who God is. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth. Exodus 20:11. It's his seal, his name, title, and territory. Break the fourth, and you break the very sign of who your God is. That's why Satan hates it. That's why Rome changed it. That's why tradition buried it. Because the fourth commandment is the foundation of worship and allegiance. Final challenge, the coming test. In the end times, it won't be murder or adultery that tests humanity. It will be worship. Revelation 14:12 says, here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus. Not 9, not altered, not optional, all 10, including the fourth. So I ask again, can you be a commandment keeper while breaking the very command God said to remember? The answer is no. God never said pick 9 and forget 1. That's man's gospel. Jesus died to forgive your sin, not to license your rebellion. So choose God's day or man's tradition, God's law or church decrees, commandment keeper or commandment breaker. Because in the final judgment, excuses won't save you. Obedience will.